So you want to know why God doesn't answer your prayers? Because God doesn't care what you care about. The things you're all mixed up in are petty to God. Do you really think God cares if you die of cancer after you've smoked for 20 years? You see, humans don't know God. That's why they pray to a God outside of themselves. Humans are disconnected from God because of ignorance. We have to be willing to accept the consequences of our actions. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. God gave us reason and logic for a reason. A young lady once stood up in church and testified that God answers prayers. Apparently, little Susie had lost her car keys and was running late for an appointment. She searched every nook and cranny of her home to no avail, when suddenly she did the only thing left to do: pray. In desperation to make it to her appointment on time, she fell to her knees and pleaded and begged with her heavenly Father to please help her find her car keys. When suddenly it came to her, the one place she hadn't looked yet. She leaped from her knees and ran to the couch and lifted her favorite cushion. Behold, her keys! God truly does care about His children. Isn't it amazing? Amazing that this version of God cares more about this privileged young lady making it to her appointment on time than ending world hunger, than answering the prayers of children in inhumane, unthinkable conditions. Let's be real. The reason so many prayers go unanswered is because our expectations are illogical and unreasonable. In most prayers, we ask God to defy the laws of cause and effect, to disregard completely all of the laws of the universe. We disregard all of the measures and steps we could have applied to avoid many of the hardships we find ourselves in. And then after the fact, we find ourselves begging and pleading with God to ignore all of the laws of the universe, to magically reverse the very foundation of our existence to help us with the problem. A detrimental part of having our prayers answered is understanding our role in this process. The fact is that we are not separate from the answers to our prayers. The answer to our prayers depend on our comprehension of universal laws. Is what you're praying for even possible? And don't fall for anything's possible with God, because the fact is that God has universal laws set in place that even God has to abide by, or God would cease to be just. So do you pray to an imaginary version of God that randomly breaks His rules for a select few people? Or do you understand that God's ability to answer prayers rely on the universal laws of cause and effect? A prayer should be nothing more than your intention, and the fruition of that prayer is known only through the laws of cause and effect. The laws of cause and effect are universal laws, but keep in mind that you are a part of the universe. The universe not only exists outside of ourselves, but also inside of ourselves. Remember the old axiom, as above, so below, as within, so without. We are simply a reflection of all that is. Once you understand the principle of mentalism as mentioned in the Kybalion, you can finally understand that you are not separate from that which you pray to. You also have to be willing to understand that not all prayers will be answered the way that you hoped they'd be answered. Sometimes bad health is inevitable, even at a young age, no matter how healthy our lifestyle is. Sometimes success is just not an option due to lack of opportunities and other external reasons that are just out of our control due to external laws of cause and effect. But this doesn't mean God is punishing us because we're bad people or lack faith. It's simply the laws of cause and effect. The simplest way to have your prayers answered is to have your intention in mind and to tactfully execute a plan to get the results from the laws of cause and effect that you desire. Is faith necessary to have your prayers answered? Yes, because you are manifesting the answers to your prayers through faith, through the laws of cause and effect. But it's not blind faith. It's not faith that would allow you to believe in a fictional character like Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny. It's not the fake faith that your preacher teaches you about in church every Sunday. It's faith that is self-evident. Faith that is self-evident has proven itself over and over again for thousands, if not millions of years. For example, I have faith that the sun will rise tomorrow because it has risen for hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years before. I had faith as a baby that I would walk because everyone around me was walking. My cousins were walking. They were growing and talking. It was all around me. It was self-evident. I've had faith that I could put on muscle because people around me were doing it successfully. I have faith that I can accomplish great things in this world because people are doing it all around me. There is a good faith and a bad faith. You have to know the difference. So, if your prayers are not being answered, it's possibly because you're asking for something that's not even possible. You're asking God to defy the laws of cause and effect. You're asking God to defy the laws of the universe, to suspend them just to answer your prayer. And this is a problem that's being taught in churches. Preachers are fueling the overactive imaginations of adult human beings and teaching them that things are possible that are not possible, like rising from the dead, virgin births, snakes talking, all of these things that defy the laws of cause and effect, the laws of the universe. If God was to go against these laws just for you, God would not be just. Because we have to have order in place that is the same for everyone. Okay? And that is a horrible thing that preachers are doing. So, if you're interested in learning more about this subject matter, follow me, hit the like button, share this with anybody you know that would be interested. Stay blessed.